From the News Channel 8 studios, let's talk live with your hosts, Natasha Barrett and Melanie Hastings.
It's winter time, so do you have a case of the winter blues?
I do on days, especially when it's really gray outside.
A little rain today.
It's gray and chilly temperatures. Sometimes that can get you down, right? But maybe you're thinking about an escape, maybe somewhere nice and warm and sunny. Ooh, that sounds wonderful. Well, some of the world's poshest hotels and resorts are waiting, but where to go? Where to go? Well, author Valerie Wilson's here. She's going to talk about her experience writing the second edition of her book. It's called Top Hotels and Resorts. And welcome to you, Valerie. Good to see you.
Good morning.
What a fun book to write. So you get to basically do your own research for these things, right?
I do my own research.
That's pretty sweet.
And I do my own research because I've been doing it for 30 years. I'm a frustrated hotelier, so I love to tell hotels what to do.
So this is the book, huh?
I
This is the second edition?
I wrote the second edition 10 years later. The first one was just
It's a
after
big,
9/11.
thick one. You got lots of stuff in
It's a
there.
big, thick one.
Now, of all these places, because we're looking at some beautiful photographs on the cover of your book worldwide, what is your favorite? Can you pick a favorite?
You know, I can't pick a favorite because I think it depends where you're going, who you're going with, why you're going.
Yeah.
So it might be a romantic weekend somewhere with that special person. It might be with the family, when I take even all my grandchildren with me. Or it might be a business trip.
Any place you visited and you thought it was going to be something and now you're like, no thanks, not going to go back?
No, I think I've got it the reverse way because I always thought, why would I go to India? I wasn't sure I'd like India. Well,
it's on your cover.
Now it's on the cover
right
of the book.
And these are actually my photographs. These.
Are they really?
You took those?
These are my photographs.
Wow,
and
you could have another career as a photographer.
I wish I could. But I loved India because it was so different. And you had the sense of smell and taste and style and feeling and the color everywhere. So I went in with trepidation. I am now absolutely in love with India, and I'd go back to Rajasthan anytime.
Wow, so I want to know what's on your list. I mean, what are your top places? And this is not for the everyday. This is for the luxury.
This is the luxury. This is the luxury market. And you asked the thick book. Yes, it is a thick book. It actually weighs almost 5 pounds. It's my 400 favorite hotels around the world, and it's, as I said, it's a second edition, and I did it in honor of the 30th anniversary of Valerie Wilson Travel. But I don't really have favorite places because it depends when, where, and what. But I have 2 very favorite cities in the world that I go to all the time. Paris and Venice.
Paris and Venice. Good choice.
Good taste. Absolutely.
And yet I'm thrilled that I came down to Washington last night and at the Jefferson Hotel, did a press launch for the book in Washington because I'm a native Midwesterner. And I think you're from Texas.
I am. Yep.
But my first trip as a teenager was to Washington, D.C. So I always say, I think I got the travel bug by those first initial trips that I took as a teenager.
Really early on?
Really early on. And 4 of my favorite hotels in the world are in Washington, D.C. The Jefferson, which I mentioned already. And I decided last night when I was thinking, oh, I'm not very good at this live television stuff. But I was thinking about Thomas Jefferson, and I said, you know, maybe we could consider him the first American connoisseur of luxury. When we think of where he traveled, what he did, what he brought back from Europe to Virginia and Washington and the country. Unbelievable.
A very cultured traveler early on,
Without a doubt.
back in our history. I also want to mention that you're a heart attack survivor, a bypass survivor.
Right.
How many years ago was that?
Well, it was in November of 2001, so it's a little over 10 years ago. I think the stress of 9/11 and all of that was part of the effect, but it is in my family genes, and I should have realized it. But I am very devoted to the Go Red for Women for the American Heart Association. In fact, I brought little pins for you, and I'm wearing mine.
You are all decked out in your red.
And I'm always wearing my red. But 12 years ago, the American Heart Association started the Go Red for Women program or initiative at a luncheon. And if I had not been at that luncheon 12 years ago, I probably wouldn't be sitting here talking to you today because women have different symptoms. So I went home from a normal busy day, and I was very nauseous, extremely nauseous, 3 hours of being nauseous. And it was only somewhere in the back of my mind I remembered hearing, women have different symptoms. Nauseousness, utter fatigue,
So you were actually
backache.
thinking that while you're having the symptoms?
Well, I didn't for about 3 hours. Fortunately, it connected at 2:20 in the morning, or otherwise I wouldn't be here.
So then you got yourself to the hospital?
I called my daughter, who I said, call the local police, call the ambulance, call your sister Kimberly. And by the time they arrived, I'd passed out. I was in essence almost not here. But I'm lucky. I had wonderful surgeons. I had bypass surgery, and today I support American Heart all the way because if women aren't aware, strikes like this.
And that's the thing, you're right. We put things off thinking, it's just this, I'm just tired today, I'm just this. And we're the first ones not to listen to our body. And a lot of mothers out there are taking care of others and not thinking of themselves.
And I don't think that I think most women aren't aware of the fact that it is the #1 killer of women today in the United States. It's more than all cancers combined. And if you take care of yourself, if you think you have a problem, see a cardiologist immediately, but take care of yourself, think about your own body, what your reactions are, see the doctors, eat healthier, exercise better, don't smoke. I smoked until 10 years ago. I stopped that night.
You stopped after that.
And
that's all
I
good
now
advice.
keep telling young people over and over, stop smoking.
And you certainly
listen to
believe in this, because I know that you are donating some of the proceeds of your book this month. All of the February sales portion goes to...
Every book I sell in the month of February, I'm giving $10 to the Go Red program.
That's great.
And every Go Red initiative, luncheon, or event I go to throughout the year, because I'll be doing things in Connecticut, in Palo Alto, California, in Chicago, etc.
And since you're talking about the continental U.S., you have a lot of places here worldwide that are your favorites. What about in the States? Because a lot of people say, oh, I want to go somewhere, I'm going to go to Europe, but we have a lot of great places right here in our country. What do you prefer? What cities?
I have a whole section, of course, on the United States.
Right.
And I think some of them would have to be, well, obviously I love New York. I moved from the Midwest to New York a long time ago. So New York, Washington, San Francisco, Chicago, Dallas, resorts down in Florida, resorts in Arizona. The United States is a wonderful, wonderful place. But I really think that I today would like to say that if you have never been to Washington, you should come and visit Washington, and you should bring your children to see Washington,
D.C.
There's
lots here to see.
Absolutely.
Because it's a beautiful city. It is the foundation of this country. Great hotels, and as I said, I have 4 of them in the book.
And they're all in the book.
Autographed books for you. And
where else are the museums free, right? The Smithsonian's
That's right.
free. You can go in there and take the whole family.
Absolutely. It's just a joy to travel, and I think it's so much, particularly for children. It's as good as taking a course or a class. It's educational.
Yeah, so much to learn
and you can learn,
see.
and you're doing it at the moment, hands-on.
Well, Valerie, thanks for being here. There's a cover of her book again, Valerie Wilson's World. Go out and get it. A lot of good information, Valerie. Thanks for being here.
Thank you so much. I enjoyed it.
You've given us the travel bug. Now we're ready to go.
Make sure you take care of your heart.
Yes, first and foremost. Thank you for the
Sit tight
pin.
for just a